Hey guys, welcome to math class. All right, just what we're going to start with this, I almost said this morning, but it's almost this afternoon. So what we're going to start with is just a review of everything we've learned so far this year. We've done even and odd, and we've learned how to add and subtract numbers. So please just take a few minutes on a piece of paper or a whiteboard or whatever you've got and try these problems real quick. And then when you're ready, you can restart the video and we'll go over them and see how you did. I'm sure that you're going to get every one of these right, but go ahead and give them a shot and we'll see. Okay, let's see how you did. Get my marker ready. There we go. All right, 398. Was that an even number or an odd number? I know it's been a while since we've talked about even or odd. Good. Remember, you don't have to worry about the whole 398, just the 8. And if you have 8, you should hopefully remember that you can buddy them up, and they're all going to have a buddy. Nobody will be left over, so that makes 8 an even number. That's what makes things even. If they all can match up and nobody's left out, you don't have any left over. And then 21, was that an even or an odd number? Good. 21 is an odd number because you just have to worry about the 1 in the ones place. And if you have 1, of course it's not going to have a buddy because it's all by itself. So that makes it an odd number because it would have 1 left out. Very good. All right, and then 5 plus 4, what'd you get? Good. You should have gotten 9. You could have put that big number in your head and counted up on that one. Or maybe you're just learning them. That would be great. 7 plus 8. What'd you get? Good. You hopefully got 15. You could have made a 10 on that one or put the big number in your head. I could make a 10, and if I give 2 over here to make him a 10, I know that would leave 5 left over, and 10 plus 5 is 15. And then 5 plus 7, what'd you get? Good. You got 12. I could have put the big number in my head and counted up. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Very good. All right, and then 12 take away 4, 12 subtract 4. This time you could have counted backwards, or you could have even counted from the little number and counted up like we've learned. This time I'm going to count backwards. So I start at 12 and I'm going to count back 4. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Good. 12 take away 4 was 8. Is that what you got? Good. 17 take away 8. What'd you get? Good. I hope you got 9. 17 take away 8 is 9. And then what about 11 take away 3? Good. I hope you got 8. You could have counted it from the little number on that one if you wanted to. Remember, when we count it from the little number, we start at the small number, and we're going to count till we get to 11 and see how many fingers it took. So 3, and now we start counting. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It took me 8 fingers. 11 take away 3 is 8. So how'd you do on those? Good, good. If you didn't miss any, you could give yourself a pat on the back. Very good. All right, so today, what we're going to be learning about, we're still going to be using our adding and our subtracting, but we're going to be working on word problems. And a word problem are the ones that have words in them, of course. And it's kind of like a story, and you have to figure it out. And we're going to use pictures and equations to solve. Remember, an equation, that's this word right here. Equation is just a math problem, like 5 plus 4 equals 9. That's an equation. So we're going to be using math problems like that and some pictures to help us solve these word problems. Let's look at the first word problem. We've got a problem about Caden and Elin. So Caden had 12 trucks. He gave 4 trucks to Elin. How many trucks does he have now? And you can tell that's a word problem because it's got words in it. Let's think about this. The first thing we have to think about in a word problem is we have to figure out if we're supposed to be adding or subtracting, because it's not going to tell you. It doesn't say, hey, add this one. It doesn't say, hey, you're going to subtract on this one. We have to read it and figure it out. The good thing is there's always going to be clues. There's clues in here that tell me what I should do. So let's read this one more time, and let's look for clues that might tell me if it sounds like I'm supposed to add them or if it sounds like I'm supposed to be taking them away. So if Caden had 12 trucks and he gave 4 trucks to Elin. So he had some trucks and he gave some trucks away. How many trucks does he have now? Oh, I think I know what we're supposed to be doing. We're going to do what, guys? Yes, we're going to subtract. What were the words in here that told me to subtract? There was something in here that made me know I was going to subtract. What was it? Very good. The part about, whoops, that was not what I meant to do. The part about he gave 4 trucks to Elin. If he gave them away, that sounds like you're taking away. So the equation that would help me solve this one is, of course, 12, take away those 4 trucks, equals, and we'll have to figure that out. There's also a picture that we can draw. And the pictures that we're going to use for today are not going to look like normal pictures to you. We're not actually going to be drawing pictures of trucks today. That just takes too much time. We're going to be using something called bar models. And bar models are called bar models because they use bars, these little boxes that look like bars. That's why they're called a bar model. And I'm going to show you what the bar model would look like for this one. So if Caden had 12 trucks, I'm going to draw a bar to show Caden's 12 trucks. I'm going to write 12 because that's his 12 trucks. I'm not going to have to draw the little trucks and put 12 of them. I can just do a bar. And then he gave 4 trucks to Elin. So I'm going to draw another bar to show the 4 trucks that he gave away. And then I'm going to draw this thing called a bracket. And it will tell me how many he has left. So this is just a picture to help me figure out the equation. And we wrote the equation, 12 take away 4. We've done our bar model over here, our picture. And now we should be able to figure out the answer. We know 12 take away 4 is 8. And so 8 would have went right there. And we know that if Caden had 12 trucks and he gave 4 to Elin, he's got 8 trucks left. So that's all we did to figure out the word problem. We wrote an equation. And we also did a bar model to help us figure that out. Let's try another one just to get some more practice. All right, this time we have a story about Nevaeh. Hold on just a second, I'm going to go back and erase all that. There we go. We have a story about Nevaeh. And Nevaeh has 16 blue clips and 9 red clips. How many more blue clips than red clips does she have? Okay, remember the first thing in a story problem or a word problem is figuring out what we're supposed to do. Is it wanting us to add? Is it wanting us to subtract? What does it want us to do? So let's reread the story about Nevaeh and see if we can figure it out. Nevaeh has 16 blue clips and 9 red clips. How many more blue clips than red clips does she have? Okay. It doesn't really sound like I'm supposed to be putting all the clips together because it doesn't say how many clips does she have. It says how many more blue ones than red ones. So when I hear words like how many more, those are some pretty important words in math. Anytime you hear how many more, it's a clue to subtract, to take away. So like in my bar model, my picture, I could draw a bar for Nevaeh's 16 blue clips and draw another bar for her 9 red clips. And what I'm trying to figure out is how many more does she have of the 16 and the 9. So it looks just like the last problem we did where we subtracted. That's how the bar models can help us sometimes. If we can draw it, sometimes it can help us figure out, does it look like we're adding or does it look like we're subtracting? So, and there was also that big clue, the how many more is always a big clue to subtract. So how many more, subtract, And then I bet we know what 16 take away 9 is. If we don't know it, I know you know a way to figure it out. I'm going to count up. So I'll count up from the little number 9, and I'm going to count to 16. So 9 is not where I start. 9 is just where I put in my head. 9. Now I can start counting. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It took me 7. So 7 would go there in the bracket, and 7 is also the answer in the equation. Remember, this is an equation. That's an equation. All right, so these word problems aren't too bad, are they? No, the hardest part is just deciding if you should add or subtract. But I promise if you read it carefully, a lot of times there's some clues, like words like how many more is a big clue. Where in the last story where he gave some away, that was a big clue. Let's try another one. Oh, now we have a story about Emberlyn. So Emberlyn puts 6 roses in a vase and 8 tulips in a vase. And in case you don't know, roses and tulips are kinds of flowers. So she put 6 roses and 8 tulips in a vase. How many flowers did she put into the vase? All right, so we have to decide first thing, what are they wanting us to do? Are we adding? Are we subtracting? We've got to read it again and look for clues. So Emberlyn puts 6 roses in the vase, and she puts 8 tulips in a vase. How many flowers did she put into the vase? Well, this kind of sounds like I'm adding them, doesn't it? Because there's my roses and there's my tulips, and I'm putting them in the same place. I'm putting them all in the vase. I bet it wants me to add them all up. So you guys are right. Where she put them all in the same vase, that was kind of our clue in this one. She put them in the vase, and we just have to count, see how many she's got. So she had 6 roses plus the 8 tulips, and we can figure it out. If we were going to do a bar model to help us on this one, we could have just drawn the bar, of course, to show the 6 roses. But this time, I'm going to put the other bar with the 6 because I put it in the same place. I put them in the vase. So I'm putting the 6 roses and the 8 tulips all together in the same place. And then the bracket would go here to tell me how many is that all together. So that's what the bracket's for. How many, what's the answer? So if I had those 6 roses and 8 tulips, 6 plus 8, 6 plus 8. I'll put a big number in my head and count up. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Ooh, 14. So this is what it would look like in the bar model and the equation. Very good. All right, and the next one, we're going to try with just an equation. If you like drawing the bar models, that's okay. But a lot of times the bar models actually get a little bit confusing for some kids. They can be helpful, but you don't have to have a bar model. You do have to have the equation so that I and all your other teachers will be able to see how you worked it out. They want to know, did you add or subtract? And that equation can show them that. So let's try one without a bar model. We're just going to draw an equation. So this is our story about Ashur. Ashur saw 14 ants on the sidewalk. Then 6 ants went into the grass. How many ants were still on the sidewalk? Okay. First thing we have to figure out is if we are adding or subtracting. Let's reread it, and we're going to look for clues that tell us, okay? Ashur saw 14 ants on the sidewalk, and then 6 ants went into the grass, so 6 of them left and went into the grass. How many ants were still on the sidewalk? Oh, I think I know what we're supposed to do on this one. I saw the clues. If 6 ants went into the grass, that means they left. And if they're leaving, we're probably supposed to subtract. You're right. So the equation would look like this. 14, subtract or take away the 6 ants that went into the grass. And then we just need to find the answer. 14 take away 6. And we know strategies that can help us. 14 take away 6, you can count backwards or you can count up. But I know that you're going to know that 14 take away 6 is, drum roll please, 8. You're right. 14 take away 6 is 8. This isn't so bad, is it? Now that we're practicing it and getting it better. Let's try the next one by yourself. And this is a story about Jed. I'm going to read it to you, and then I want you to pause it and see if you can figure out what the equation will be. You do not have to draw the bar model, just the equation. So Jed saw 7 big dogs and 4 little dogs at the park. How many dogs were at the park? All right, I'm going to reread it one more time because this time we want to look for clues. We're trying to figure out, are we supposed to add or are we supposed to subtract? So Jed saw 7 big dogs and he saw 4 little dogs at the park. How many dogs were at the park? Okay, you pause it and think about this and get your equation, and when you're ready, restart it and we'll go over it and see if you're right, okay? All right, hopefully you've got an answer now. So, all right, let's see. He saw 7 big dogs and 4 little dogs, and they were all at the park. None of them left. None of them ran away. Nobody stole any of them. I didn't see any words in there to tell me to subtract. Since the big dogs and the little dogs are all at the park, I think we're supposed to add them all up and see how many's there. So did you add on this one? I think so, because they were all at the same place. They were all at the park. We just had to add it up and see how many were there. So if you did not add, go ahead real quick and you can try this adding 7 plus 4. Because that's going to give us the answer. So 7 plus 4 is... It is 11. Very good. 7 plus 4 is 11. All right, there are some practice ones that I have made now for your assignment, where you're going to be reading a story problem and you're going to have to figure out if you are adding or subtracting, and then I want you to write the equation just like this. This is an equation to find the answer. I'm only going to give you a few to practice with because we're going to check on this tomorrow too and try this tomorrow just to make sure that we're pretty good with story problems, because story problems are going to be in math for the rest of your life. There's always going to be some story problems. So if we are very good at reading them and figuring out if we're adding or subtracting, it's going to make our life a lot easier. We want an easy life, don't we? That would be nice, wouldn't it? So, all right, you have good luck on your assignment. Remember, you can ask me for help in any way if you need to. If you get stuck and you can't figure something out, give me a chat, give me a call, and I will help you all I can. All right, I'll see you all later. Bye.